guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. Hopefully, you guys can hear me loud and clear. What's up? Everybody, come on in. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Get a membership if you can. I've got Kimberly Chapman here. Shout out to our new subscriber. Hopefully, you subscribe and you hit the notification bell. That way, you can see all of my lives daily, right? So what's up? Come on in, guys. How you doing? I'm gonna have to get to know some of these names again, but Mama Sage, I see you. Patricia NYC, how you doing there? Jen's a Gypsy, what's up? Rosie Faith says, are you guilty of crime? That is a great thing to say for today's show, right? Good thing to say is, are you guilty of crime? Today we're having a discussion. Not only am I presenting this case, but I think some people are going to have a difference of opinions. Possibly, I put up that flag back there because in the United States, we have the right to bear arms. We have the right to protect ourselves. We have the right to protect our property if someone was to come into our house. But you know what we don't have a right to do is protect our kids with that same thing that we protect our property with. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here right now. And Kimberly, don't you worry about that, my friend. We donate lots of memberships throughout the stream. So hopefully, go ahead and just comment, make sure you subscribe, and hopefully you can win yourself a membership. All right, never apologize when you're here for not being able to donate to the channel. You donate by just being here and watching and hitting that like button. It's free. All right, guys. So yeah, we've got the Second Amendment here in the United States, and we can protect our property. I know that. I'm the first one that knows that. And I love that. I love being able to protect myself, my family, and my property. However, I would much rather protect my family over any property any day, and that's what this case is about today, guys. It caught my attention last year, and I said, good for this guy, good for him, go get him. This is vigilante justice at its finest. All right, vigilante justice. Some people agree, some people don't. In this case, I'm going to tell you, vigilante dad shoots stalker after finding him with his missing teen daughter in his car. Now, I don't know if that reminds you guys of anything, but I got to tell you, last year when I saw the case of the judge being his powed by the sheriff. Do you remember that case that everybody picked up on? Now, I was going to pick up on that case as well. And when I saw that judge being fired on by the sheriff, I said, yeah, good for him. That was Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins. He went into the judge's quarters and pulled out his gun and pow, pow, pow. Judge Kevin Mullins was in chambers. He couldn't get away fast enough. Now, this is in Lonoke County, Arkansas, or Lonoke County, Arkansas, and it's a big deal. It's a big case. It's flipped, it's flopped, and I had the same kind of mindset for this case as the last one. But come to find out that judge being pow-powed by the sheriff was not what I thought at all. And in fact, there was a sextortion ring going on. And I said, well, wait a minute. Maybe Sheriff Mickey wasn't doing that just to protect his daughter. So do you guys know that? You guys remember the sheriff shooting the judge and us hearing that when he shot him that he realized his daughter's number was on that phone? What's up, Kel? Good to see you. All right. So Shelly says, I still don't know the motive in that case. Well, guess what? I'm pretty sure it had to do with sextortion and racketeering and all of the crimes that were happening piled up on that Mickey guy. We still don't know because he's trying to get out of it. But I thought this was in the same ballpark, and it's not. So the case of Aaron Spencer is a collision of justice and vigilantism, all right? So I say yes. Protect your property, protect your kids. You should be able to. All right. So this is recent. This is all good. This case is hopefully this man, he's already had his charges brought and then lowered, and then the trial's starting, guys. So let's get into it. April says, I believe Sheriff Mickey had a psychological break, hadn't slept, and got paranoid. And he was paranoid because he had something to do with what was going on. That was not just him going into the judge's office and saying, I'm standing up for my daughter. I'm going to protect her. No. But this case is like that, in my opinion. All right. So let's get into it. I haven't even started. You don't know anyone's name. You don't know what's happening. You know Aaron Spencer, but you don't know the case if you haven't seen it before or prior to today. And thank you so much for the one gifted membership. Hopefully somebody gets it that really needs it. Now, Criddle says, I hope the jury is like, why are we here? And I'm hoping so too. Once I lay this case out for you today, I think you're going to say, why are we even talking about this, Jay? If you can go outside and protect your property with your amendment, your Second Amendment, why can't you protect your child? You guys tell me. I believe he was overcharged. Let's get into it. What's up, Undead Ramen? Cheeky persnickety. Yesterday, that video was horrible about Adrian Jones. So as soon as I got down, it obviously did not get monetized. And that's okay because it needs to be told. But in order to get this into circulation, we got to try to stay within the YouTube guidelines. So do me a favor, hit that like and then share this. And if you have the means to get a membership, gift a membership, super chat, super sticker, all that fun stuff, please do. And thank you. All right, let's talk about when this happened and what is going on. All right, we got a lot to get into today. Now, listen, this is in Arkansas, okay? This was, take you back to October 8th, 2024. Now, Aaron found his daughter in a vehicle with Michael Fosler, a 67-year-old man who was previously known to the family as a boyfriend of a family friend. Now, in the early news articles, nobody knew the connection. Why was this old man hanging out with a missing girl? This missing girl being this guy's daughter. All right. So thank you, Lone Oak. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's pronounced Lone Oak. There we go. Put it up there for a minute. All right. This happened in Lone Oak County, Arkansas on October 8th, 2024. Aaron found his daughter with a 67-year-old man. She was only a teenager. Now, I ask you, when is unaliving justified? All right. Now, the family had a no contact order for Fosler, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you all these people in a bit. All right. There was a protection order against Fosler, and they let him out on a $5,000 bond. He was supposed to stay away from Spencer's daughter, but he didn't do that. She went missing, and then she was in the car with him. Doing what? What do you think the 67-year-old man was continuing to do to this little girl that was a teenager and very susceptible to a lot of things? What do you think? He was graping her, guys. He had already been grooming her and graping her for quite some time, and that's why he was locked up, right? So Fosler gets out, right? Aaron Spencer is his worst nightmare. 36 years old at the time, 37 now, became the center of this tragic and highly publicized incident. after the 14-year-old daughter went missing the night before. All right. Thank you so much, Criddles. It's been a while. Love your channel. And F the creepers. Always fight for my kids. Yeah. Don't just protect your property, protect your children. Children aren't property. They're our love. They're our life. All right. That's our life. My children are my life. Without them, my life wouldn't have as much meaning as it does. And I understand why Aaron Spencer did this. And again, I ask you the question. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm asking you, when is unaliving somebody justified? Is it justified when a 67-year-old pedo comes out and takes your daughter, she's missing, and you catch him graping her? Is that justifiable? Now, this was the early hours of October 8th, 2024. All right. Aaron, who's the father, found his daughter in a vehicle with Michael, a 67-year-old man, like I said, was known to the family as a boyfriend of a family friend. Now, earlier in the year, guys, Fosler had allegedly already groomed, targeted, and graped Aaron's daughter, leading to legal actions, including a no contact order, and due to the charges of also resulting in stalking and SA. All right. Now, discovering Fosler with his daughter set him off beyond what anybody would be set off as. An altercation ensued, guys, and Aaron Spencer fatally took Fosler's life. Now, the event led up to Aaron's arrest on a preliminary charge of first degree M. Now, it sparked a lot of public outrage because rights to the parents to their children to protect them just aren't there. Why aren't they there? I don't know. All right, so he doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to do my thing. His wife backs him. Parents need to protect their children. And if sometimes it doesn't adhere to the legal justice system, then so be it. All right, the community's reaction has been mixed. I don't know how you guys feel, but a lot of people are rallying for Aaron, describing him as a hero, which I do. He acted out of desperation to protect his child. All right, from further harm of this old 67-year-old pedo. Now, his wife, Heather Spencer, has publicly supported her husband, initiating crowdfunding and campaigns for his legal defense, describing a systematic failure that they felt let down by, particularly the guy that did that to his daughter. He had a background, guys. He had a RSO. He was out on bond, and yet it was perceived leniency for the pedo. All right, so the case has ignited a lot of outrage, so to speak, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to want to see the people involved. So I'm going to start getting to that. I just really want you to see how much support, and I want you to understand how much support went into this case. Now, Aaron's a keeper. God bless him. Of course, he's supporting. Thank God she's supporting her husband. It's all over social media. All right. But they're going to trial, and I'll tell you when in just a minute. All right. So let's start off with this article going back to 2024, where he was arrested. You guys are going to be outraged when you see the progression of this case and what went down. It never should have went down this way, guys. Ever, ever, ever. Okay. Idiots want the old guy to get with that. Want old guy to get by with that. I really hope Snapped isn't 15 minutes of fame, but it's a good possibility. What's up, Lady K? How you doing? Absolutely. I've been targeting this case for quite some time, and I finally had an opportunity or a break in the case of Madeline Soto and decided to cover this. Thank you, Lady Talks. You guys go over and subscribe to her channel. She also has a channel, Lady for Justice. Brought this case even further to me. I was already looking at it, and she said, go do it, Jay. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker, my friend. All right, you're very welcome, Kimberly. Absolutely. Let's take a look at this real quick and see what happened. I'm going to try to get through this without all the cussing, right? Missing teen daughter, allegedly. I don't want to be dad arrested after taking the life of the man he found it in a car with his missing teen daughter. All right, let's watch this let me play this for a second without the music, please. All right, so you can see this here. A father in Arkansas allegedly took the life of 67-year-old Michael Fosler. All right. It's still going. All right. The sheriff's office said a confrontation between the men ensued, which ended in Fosler being his life taken. Deputies said Fosler died at the scene and Spencer was taken into custody. He was released on bond the next day. At least they got that right, guys. All right. At least they got that right and they let him out. Okay. So let me just transform back into 2024 and then we'll move forward. All right. This is initially what happened October 14, 2024. All right. In Arkansas, a father allegedly took the life of. Now, as it progressed, listen what happened that night. The officers were called in reference to a missing child on Tuesday. Yes, folks, that missing child was Spencer Aaron's daughter. They were looking for her. While they were en route to the home, deputies were told by Aaron Spencer that he had located his daughter with a 67-year-old guy named Michael Fosler. The sheriff said a confrontation between them ensued, and the pedo ended up dead. Deputies say Fosler died at the scene, and we talked that Spencer was taken into custody. And then USA Today, the family had a no contact order in place because they were accusing him of stalking and graping their daughter over the summer. Okay, Fosler was arrested, but they still let him out. Now there's a public post from Heather Spencer, identified as Aaron's wife. We had no idea this man was in contact with our child again. At the end of the day, our daughter's a victim and we have a long road of recovery for everyone. All right. It's unclear if Fosler had relationship to the family and how. Now we know. Now, Aaron was facing first degree and now he's not. They've backed it down. He was released on bond the day after, and many people in Facebook are supporting him, and they have a petition to free and pardon Aaron Spencer, which I'll show you in a minute. Right? They did have a give, go, send up, but they took that down now. Heather says, he saved my daughter. What a hero. He should not be in jail. Guess what, guys? I agree. I 110% agree. I hope that you guys are as mad as I am about this case. And you don't have to agree with me, but I hope that as this unfolds, you see a little bit closer into what this dad was doing. And it was only for his daughter. He doesn't care. He'll get locked up over this. All right. He's like the honey badger. He doesn't give a fuck. I won't cuss. All right. So let me just show you right here. Let me just show you a couple things actually. Where's the article? I want you to see the I actually want you to see the Facebook group, and I want you to see the love and support that he's getting. So let me just go to Heather's page just in case you want to follow Heather and support her in this journey. A jury will never find dad guilty. I wouldn't. And I wonder why they're wasting their time. Now let's look at this so you can see that the trial is coming, folks. After Heather posted on October 2024. She tagged people. She says, I want to start by thanking everyone who reached out, commented, shared, donated, and prayed for our family. I don't think we ever expected this kind of community support. We're truly overwhelmed with gratitude. We are private people, and navigating this absolute nightmare has been difficult. Despite that, we fully understand that we can't do this without public's help. We need this story shared far and wide. So you guys hit the like button and share this story. They did put a GoFundMe down. It was taken down, and they have a new donation platform for now. So they did the give, go, send, and they put their Venmo and Cash App, allowing donations and blocking others. She says, I'll keep them listed in my profile. Donations are wonderful and needed. But despite the legal fight, this has been the most traumatic event of our family's lives. Right? This is great. She's just awesome. They've got the give, go, send up. I don't know if that's still up. No, it's unpublished. They took it down. All right. So let's take a look at the group, and then we're going to see a lot of things, guys. We're going to see a lot of things here. So stick with me. Thank you again, Foxy Amazon, for the 420 Guilty of Crime membership. I appreciate you. All right, let's pull this bad boy down. I the way this case progressed, is almost unbelievable, folks. I'm never at a loss for words, but today I'm trying to make sure I find the right words. Okay, you guys, I'm going to drop the link down here. There's a change.org, same place that you go to arrest Jen Soto. All right, it's a petition to arrest Jen Soto. This is a petition to free and pardon Aaron Spencer. I'm going to drop that in the chat. All right, change.org, free Aaron Spencer. You can see the page right there. I absolutely suggest that you go sign that petition, right? We already talked about all this kind of thing. The Aaron Spencer is one of the few straight men who stopped a predator named Michael Fosler, who kidnapped and raped his daughter, all while legal processes were going on behind the scenes. All right, this is a shame, and I do feel like he's a hero as well. I'm not going to sit there and read the whole thing, but please go sign up for that. Montana Mystic, how do you find the time for your work and family? You're so appreciated. I don't know, girlfriend, and good to see you. I don't know. I really can't tell you. But love you, love all you guys. And I appreciate you saying that, because it is a lot of work to do a case a day, my friends. Coming up with a thumbnail, coming up with the collage that Tiff does, coming up with the story, coming up with the documents, doing the research. It's a lot of work, guys, especially when I'm doing one case a day. That means I have to do this every single day. All right. So I just want you to know that. And I appreciate it. And I hope you guys love the way I present true crime. If you do, please share this video. All right. So let me put this up. I want you to see this. I want you to see the Facebook group, because I want to show you that this trial is coming up, folks. Also, go over to facebook.com and go to We Support Aaron Spencer. I've given you 2 ways now to support Aaron Spencer. YouTube's a second, 5th job, right? YouTube's a second, 4th, 5th, 6th job, right? I got my mommy role, my job that I work 8 hours a day, being a wife, taking care of the kiddos, the dogs, whatever. Yeah, it's a lot. But if we can help one person, that's all I care. That's all that matters. All right. So yeah, hit that like button. And I appreciate you, Diana. Now take a look at this. Go over and sign up for We Support Aaron Spencer. It's got everything about him. He was arrested at 36. It's a year later. They go over that. Lots of beautiful pictures. I think he's an amazing man. He's really, I would hang out with that guy. I even though I live in San Jose and I'm all tatted and you guys see me one way, I feel like that. I feel like I'm 6 feet tall with a beard and guns, and then real ones. All right. So that's how I feel like he looks. Now, there is a trial. It is a waste of money, but look at this, guys. Take a look at this. Let's look at this. This is a great update, in my opinion. Let me make this a little bigger. I have documentation on all this as well. All right. Jay's wife is very supportive. Yes. Please don't say her name, but please also thank the guilty of crime wife and baby guilty. They're very supportive of me. All right. Yeah, I'm like this, but I'm not even 5 feet tall, and I sure as hell wouldn't be growing a beard, y'all. All right. But I feel that way when I get my AR or my AR-15 or my go-to 9mm. Hey, I'm a good shot. I can do a body shot from one end of the house to the other. Bam. We protect our family. We protect our kids, period. All right. So we want to go over there and help this man. And let me tell you what, here's the next steps in this case. Let me get back to this. This is a great too, Justy. I'm going to show you that in a second. Let me pull this down so you can see this a little better. All right. So I do have documentation, a ton of court documentation that I want to share, but I don't know if I'll be able to today. I like tattoos and didn't even notice them. You didn't notice all my tattoos, girl? Love you. What's up, Carly? Good to see you. Foxy, anybody that's here, all the mods, Sadie's mama, love you. Tink, what's up, girl? All right, look at this. Next coming up is in the Circuit Court of Lonoke. You said Lonoke County, Arkansas, 1st Division, State of Arkansas versus Aaron Spencer. Listen what happened, guys. This was just filed on October 1st, 2025, 5 days ago. All right. They put a joint motion for a continuance in this case. However, the above case is set for a pretrial this Friday, August 8th, and for jury trial on September 22nd through September 26, 2025. All right. Right now, these parties want a continuance, and I wonder, they're saying that the Arkansas State Crime Lab has not completed all testing. The motion is made in good faith and not for purposes of delay, like Stephen Stern's trial that didn't make it to a trial. Now, Spencer agrees that speedy trial will be told for the duration of this continuance. All right, both parties signed, good to go. Trial starting, baby. Yeah, Lone Oak. Okay, I'm sorry. Lone Oak, Arkansas. Thank you. What's up, Beyond the Evidence? How you doing, Marvelous Marv? All right, so I have a lot more documents, a lot more paperwork, but I wanted to tell you, pre-trial starts this Friday, August 8th. If they go to trial September 22nd to 26th, I think they should just give a man a plea deal and let him be on time served for being at home on bond. I don't think they should. I don't think this guy should do any time at all. All right. So go support Aaron Spencer over on Facebook. We support Aaron Spencer. Wonderful man. This was just covered by our eye candy, Mr. Pete. All right. Mr. Pete here. So, lawyer, I won't have time to go over that today, but a lot of people support this man, and I am one of them that does. All right. All right. Let's get into it, folks. Marv, have you seen this case yet? How do you sign? You go over and you digitally sign with this petition, change.org, free Aaron Spencer. All right. There it is. All right. There we go. You can go sign right over there. All right, we got a lot to do. Today. Let me show you some of the documents real quick, and then I will get into some videos. Take a look at this. This is great. Thank you, Lady for Justice, for turning me on to this space. Justia Law. Many of you guys might know this. These documents are fantastic. Spencer versus State of Arkansas with majority concurring. And this document here is the Supreme Court of Arkansas, Aaron Spencer versus State petition for, I'm not sure what that says, certiorari. Maybe Lady for Justice can tell me how to pronounce this. I think it's Latin. Lone Oak County Circuit Court, Barbara Elmore, petition to write and granted. Okay, I know what it was. It's a gag order. That's what it is. They're saying it. I just have so much information, right? Gag order. They had a gag order on this case and they agreed to take it away. So now we're going to be able to find out actually what happened. Now, Aaron Spencer filed a petition to request that a gag order be entered in the Lone Oak County City Court and that it be vacated. He argues that entry of the gag order was a plain, manifest, clear, and gross abuse of discretion, and that there's no other adequate remedy for this. All right, they say we agree, and we grant the petition for them to vacate the gag order. Right, so the background just goes into November 27, 2024. Spencer was originally charged with first degree, and they dropped it down to a second degree M, along with the firearm enhancement under the Arkansas Code, right? So if you guys are from there, they talk about the pow death of 67-year-old Michael Fosler, on and on and on. So we got a lot of document paperwork, 28 pages of really good information that I'm definitely not going to read right now. I'm just glad that the gag order got taken away. All right, so let's see some of the things and the people going on in this case. Let me put this. I don't like leaving you with nothing to look at. Yeah, I got it. It was a gag order. They just put it into the language they had. I was like, okay. I figured it was a legal term, but I couldn't pronounce it. So thank you. Thanks, Sid. Appreciate you. All right. I knew what it was, but I got a lot right here just waiting to get out when I present. All right. So thank you. I always appreciate the help. Let's see what's happening. And let's look at this cool dad. I really like I really like how cool he seems to be. I feel like he's cool, calm, and collected, all in the right ways, guys. So I'm definitely all for this man, Aaron Spencer, and for him to not only get the justice for his daughter that they deserve, but for him, let this man out. Put this man back at his home, being free from having this all on the back of him. We can protect our chickens, we can protect our property, we can protect our things, but we can't protect our children. Nah, nah, nah. I'm gonna protect my children. I don't care what they say. That's why I'm behind him. All right. That's why I stand up for Aaron Spencer. Now let's take a look. We're gonna rewind a little bit. Arkansas enters plea after taking the life of of the man he found his daughter with. I'm gonna try not to be too graphic on the language so that we can get this in the algorithm. Let's see how that works. In the meantime, hit that like button, subscribe, share, all the stuff. Thank you.
Charged in the deadly shooting of 67-year-old man he found in the car with his 14-year-old daughter. Rebecca Brown was in the courtroom today and has the latest developments on a case that got a lot of national attention.
Aaron Spencer is not a criminal.
Monday morning, Aaron Spencer uttered the words "not guilty" in front of a judge at the Lonoke County Sheriff's Office, where he is facing charges for second-degree murder. All this because of an incident on October 8th, where police reports say Spencer's teenage daughter was missing and was discovered by Spencer in a car with 67-year-old Michael Fosler.
Now, listen, guys, I can't even imagine that. Now, we're in California. I'm in California here, right? We're in the United States. You see that flag, but I'm in California, and they don't let you just walk around carrying your pow pow. And I'm kind of glad they don't, because I feel like if I walked up to a car with some old ass man that I seen dating one of my crusty relatives, and I found my missing daughter in a car with her halfway undressed, I would do the same thing that he did. Mark my words. All right. 67 years old, and he already had a RSO. They already had a restraining order against him for grooming and graping his daughter before. All right. Yeah, I don't want to imagine it, but man, and I love Aaron Spencer's look. He reminds me of like the guy from Stained, Aaron Lewis. He's that rugged American guy. I love it. I love it. All right. And yeah, the livestock guardian breed. I love those dogs. They're made for hunting and cattle herding. I'm sorry. Happy birthday, August babies. Mama Sage, member for 8 months. Happy birthday to all the Leos and Virgos. All right. Happy birthday month, y'all. And thank you, Mama Sage. And yeah, California does not have open carry, but Tennessee, Colorado, and Texas sure do. California absolutely doesn't. I'm glad you're back. Put me on that TV, girl. Thank you. All right. Yeah, Texas is about 108 RSOs. That's disgusting and unacceptable. Remember, he was already grooming that 14-year-old girl prior, the summer before. What's up, Only Me Baby? How you doing? All right, let's take a look at this 1 a.m. missing teen. All of the circumstances in this case lead up to one thing happening, and it was this.
According to the sheriff's office, this eventually led to an argument ending with Spencer shooting and killing Fosler.
He was absolutely fearful for her life. Not to mention that she had been repeatedly the subject of multiple assaults. Violent.
And I'm glad they used the words like that, assaults and attacking, because really, if you start throwing out words like that, it doesn't get in the algorithm and no one sees the case. And what these people want right here is for everybody to see this case and support them, for the ones that do. Yeah, he's got big Papa Bear energy for sure. And I love it. Love it.
Assaults on a child. What are we doing here?
According to court documents, Fosler was charged in early September with 2 counts of sexual assault and 2 counts of sexual abuse.
We don't want to say that word, so we're going to say CSAM, all right?
Attorney Erin Casanilli, in her words, he did what any parent would have done.
We feel very confident that this community is going to come to Aaron's side, because every one of them would have done the same thing for their child or their neighbor's child or a member of their family.
But according to prosecuting attorney Chuck Graham, who charged Spencer with second-degree murder, Spencer's fear is only part of the story.
They had a lot to say about the situation and me, but what's being put out there is not the whole story.
And that's why I want to tell you guys the whole story, because initially when I started looking into this case, guys, ladies, people, all I saw was this burly man with a beard pow-powing some old man to protect his daughter. But I didn't know the whole story, guys. I didn't know that he had already groomed and graped and assaulted and stalked that little girl the summer before. They did all the right things. They got a restraining order. They took it to court. I'm sure they'd probably have that little girl in therapy by now. Those people did all the right things. The justice system failed her and them. All right. So once you hear all the circumstances, it makes you want to support him just that much more. I cannot wait until the jury hears it.
Ethically, I can't go much further than that.
Outside of the sheriff's office stood family and friends of Aaron Spencer. This case catching the eyes of people beyond Lono County, as many Facebook comments feel as strongly as both sides defending in the state.
And look at that. I love it, guys. I love the support. I mean, these people, there's a huge backing on Facebook, but I would have done the same. Just a dad protecting his child. Situations like this are no win for police. Well, they should be a win for police, because that shouldn't even have happened. They failed initially, and now we don't want this man to be failed. All right. The county collected money for his defense. Oh, you're talking about something. Gary Plash was initially charged. Yep, I remember that one too. And he was released later on. All right, Jay, the Great Pyrenees and Mastiff actually take lives of Cougars Bear. Yeah, they are a giant breed. So you guys already know, if you know, Guilty of Crime Wife. Guilty of Crime Wife is a dog person. She worked at a vet for years, and now she has her own business with animals. So I've seen every breed, and she tells me all about what they do and how much exercise they need. All right, let's keep shout out for her son's birthday. Guilty of Crime, Kimberly Chapman would like a shout out for her son's birthday. Well, Kimberly Chapman, happy birthday to your son. I did not see the name, but that's because I'm reading and talking. Maybe put that out there and I'll shout it out. Or if you have a super chat, super sticker, throw that down and I'll pin it. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So all these people are showing love. And here we go. All right, now we're going to fast forward a little bit and let's kind of lay this out. And there's a really good law and crime episode. That's not that long, but I want you guys to also see this. It kind of gives you an idea of what happened. Wait. Oh yeah, he pled not guilty. Let's take a look at this real quick. Was this the same one? Hold on.
Pleads not guilty today, and he found in the car with.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was is that the same one? Plea after allegedly. Okay, different one.
His 14-year-old daughter. Rebecca Brown was in the courtroom today and has the latest developments on a case that got a lot of national attention.
Aaron Spencer is not a criminal.
Monday morning, Aaron.
Okay, so they already basically showed that in the same. They showed that. So let's keep going. Let me find my downloads here, and then we'll continue. Yeah, they've got just different versions of the same thing. Gag. Oh, I want to show you the gag order being lifted now. That's a win. You know why it's a win? Because once people realize what actually happened, there's no way they're going to convict him, right? Say yes. All right. So gag order lifted, which is a big deal because now everybody's going to hear everything.
Tonight, we're learning previously unknown details of a murder case so sensational the judge and prosecutors worried about conducting a fair trial. But today, a majority of the Arkansas Supreme Court basically released those details themselves, saying Aaron Spencer and his lawyers have the right to speak publicly about how the man accused of sexually assaulting his teenage daughter ended up dead last year. Let's recap how we all got here. Lonoke County deputies arrested Spencer.
And look at him. He's like, hey, whatever. I know, beyond the evidence. It's been quite a year for this man. As you watch this and how it progressed from first degree to second, gag order, and then now they don't have a gag order, and pretrial starting on Friday. So all I can say is everybody please send prayers and love to this man and his family, his daughter. Of course, we're not going to show pictures of her because she's a minor. All right. What's up, Curly Blue? How you doing? You guys all have different names, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Last October, with the sheriff's office saying then only that he killed 67-year-old Michael Fosler after a fight and after he had found him with his teenage daughter. Prosecutors charged Spencer with second-degree murder. Court documents reveal Fosler was facing numerous sexual charges involving Spencer's daughter and had posted bond. Spencer's family took to social media. They started calling him a hero. His lawyers saying he did the same thing that any father would have done.
We feel very confident.
All right, they're basically the gag orders lifted. Let's take a look at this real quick. Any documentation is good for me. I just didn't want to see that same interview again. Sorry about that.
And today, a strong ruling from the state's high court. The gag order violated Spencer's First Amendment rights,
there you go,
with 3 justices saying they thought the case should have been removed from Judge Elmore's court. That's not going to happen, but the ruling listed new.
I don't think anybody even thinks that this man should continue to be charged with this. I mean, April, you're right. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. Then why is the court system why did they try to shut Spencer up? Why did they go from first degree to second? And why are they even taking it this far and going to pretrial and then having a full week trial? It doesn't make any sense. All right. Oh, it wasn't the first victim, Suzanne. This guy saved many girls from either him continuing the attack or future attacks, right?
Details that we didn't know before. Spencer had discovered his daughter had snuck out. He jumped into his truck and found Fosler with his daughter inside that truck. The opinion from Justice Courtney Ray Hudson said Spencer forced Fosler off the highway that night.
You see that, man? I mean, this guy, free Spencer. I mean, we didn't get to hear about all this in the beginning. All we heard was this man shot some other man, and, we only heard a little bit. I don't know, Shelly, if the judge is going to dismiss it. I'm hoping that they offer some kind of plea that makes sense. But I don't know if it will, because I don't think Aaron Spencer should take a plea that leaves a felony on his record. I don't think that's fair either. Sorry, not sorry. All right. Hello. Good to see you, my friends. All right.
That's when they fought. And moments later, Spencer called 911 to say he shot Fosler. Casanelli released a statement praising the ruling and applauding the clear guidelines that it lays out for future gag orders. Justice Hudson writing that gag orders should be a last resort and not a first impulse. Spencer pleaded not guilty.
I mean, come on, guys. He pled not guilty. We're talking Brian Koberger case again in the Idaho 4. How pissed were all of you? How pissed was America seeing that there was a gag order that got lifted only after we heard BK plead guilty? We didn't hear about the gruesome details until after. So why didn't we go harder? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, we should be able to, but we sure don't, do we? But we as parents can protect our children. That's our choice. All right. But if ever there was a reason, and I asked that question at the very beginning of the show, when is unaliving somebody else justifiable? All right, let's keep going. All right, I might just run it after this because I don't want people to be held off by a long episode. I want people to see this and really pass it around before pretrial starts, because maybe pretrial will start and then it will end. Maybe he won't have to have a trial. Maybe the judge will see it the way we do. All right. Sounds to me like law enforcement didn't know what the hell they were doing. Read the Constitution of the United States. Ding, ding, ding. All right. Listen up. This is the first time you're going to see 67-year-old pedo other than on my thumbnail. All right. This is a really good episode. Came out not too long ago. Everybody's working on this case now. The lawyer just came out with the episode, and if I had time, I would run that too. All right, let's go. He breaks it down what it means in the case for Aaron, which I love.
A man claims he found his missing teenage daughter in a car with a 67-year-old man, an alleged stalker.
There he is, guys. So imagine that. Imagine this guy. Imagine finding this guy that you've already did a protection order, been running from, been trying to get your daughter away, already attacked and groomed and made it seem normal. Imagine finding that guy with your daughter with half of her clothes being gone after she was missing. Imagine that. Imagine that. What's up, Tears in Heaven? How you doing, my friend? Tony, good to see you. Look at that nasty old man that you already told to get away from your daughter. You warned him. Man.
And now this father is accused of killing that man, and he could be facing criminal charges. I'm going to talk with renowned predator catcher Chris Hansen to get to the bottom of the story. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. Jesse Weber. To say that his 14-year-old daughter was missing. And while his wife searched the area around the home, Spencer hopped into his truck, started driving around looking for her. And that is when Spencer apparently spotted 67-year-old Michael Fosler with his teenage daughter in a car. And according to Spencer's wife, Heather, he started chasing the car that Fosler was driving. There was some sort of accident. After the
And doesn't this sound like it's not premeditated? I don't know why they're even at second degree. This was one of those things. He was looking for his daughter, and I bet you he did not expect to see that. Right? This is pure adrenaline here. Karma, nasty sicko, old pervert. Sorry, not sorry. Keep them coming, guys, because it's all the truth.
Crash. There was apparently some kind of confrontation between the two men, and Spencer allegedly shot Fosler, killing him. Well, when Lono County Sheriff's deputies arrived, they took Spencer into custody on suspicion of murder. His family was able to get enough money together for a $150,000 bail.
Amen.
There's a lot of different moving parts in this, including Fosler's history. So I want to bring in right now renowned predator catcher, founder of True Blue, the host of Takedown on True Blue, the host of Predators I've Caught with Chris Hansen. Who am I going to bring in? I think you guessed it, Chris Hansen, to talk more about this. Chris, good to see you.
What a wild case.
I was going to ask you, in your experience, have you seen this kind of vigilante justice?
Apparently the guy was already warned in some
heat of the moment.
And so they get onto this, the father does, and he finds the girl in this guy's car. Imagine the outrage. Now, that doesn't mean it's okay to kill somebody because of this, but you have to take this into consideration. So I would have to believe that while there are charges here, and while it may be a question of fact for a judge or jury, jury's going to...
Now, he had already groomed her, Lady for Justice, so I don't think that, you can technically call it kidnapping, but he had already been grooming and graping her. There was something that he was telling her. There was something he was feeding into about her. He was giving her attention, compliments, time, making her feel older. They clearly said that she was groomed, so I don't think that he kidnapped her in the physical sense. I think he lured her out with his nasty words and whatever. All right. So I just want you to know that. All right.
Be pretty sympathetic to a fellow who's in this position.
Yep.
I'm going to make the argument, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, if you can even get a fair and impartial jury in a case like this. But your experience in your career, you've seen parents who have taken...
I've seen, it's happened.
Violent with people like this?
It's happened. It's rare.
Yeah.
Most people let the criminal justice system do its job, but I just finished a sting operation in Florida.
Awesome.
The,
Florida. Yeah.
Sheriff's deputies down there and detectives, Grady Judd, the sheriff down there. And in
Grady Judd,
we caught a lifeguard from a Disney resort. Here's a guy who's looking at children all day, and he shows up.
Are you guys surprised by that? What have I always told you? If you want to find out where the pedos are, go see where the children are. For pedos, if you want to find where the children are, go work for a place like Disney or Boy Scouts of America. They know exactly where to go. Yeah, he's absolutely a Stearns groomer, way beyond Stearns, in my opinion. I'm sure he was grooming several children before, and he would have done it after. All right. So, I mean, that's typical Chris Hansen in Florida. That's been happening every time I see, arcades, anywhere you can think of where children are going to be. And that's why we keep our children in the house most of the time. It's sad, but I don't know if kids go to libraries so much anymore. Everything's done online, but that's why we keep our children at home. People say, wow, let them outside and play. It's not how it used to be, guys. It's not how it used to be. So much different.
House to meet up and have a sexual liaison with a 14-year-old girl because he said
Disney.
His fiance wasn't paying enough attention to him. We had another guy who was in the Orlando area on business as a videographer there for a convention from Minnesota.
Of course.
He lies about his name. He jerks the detectives around. He lies to me during my interview with him. And it turns out all the time, all the while we're talking to him, he is out.
How about teachers? We didn't even say teachers. Look at the Devil's Den monster. He was a teacher that tickled little girls and told them, I wish you were my girlfriend. All right. He worked his way up from different grades to different grades. No, I believe it with the bus drivers. I also believe it with the teachers. Nowadays, female teachers are also doing the same thing, and they're being predators to young boys. I know people don't take it as seriously, but it's serious. If your male son is being groomed and raped by a female teacher, it's going to mess him up. I'll tell you that right now. All right, let's keep going.
Out on bail after being arrested for virtually the same crime in Minnesota. So he's out on bail for trying to have sex with a boy in Minnesota. And what does he do? He goes off on business to Florida, and he gets right online and tries to set up another sexual
online Roblox. What did we learn about the Roblox online? What about the case in Florida, the guy that was at Madeline Soto's, the music teacher? Madeline Soto's alleged music teacher was doing that to kids in Roblox. Never in real life, online, making them do stuff to each other and share it. Yes, it can be anyone, everywhere. Anyone, anywhere. All right. It's disgusting. Yeah.
Is on with another 14-year-old boy in Florida.
It's pretty disgusting. And I would say, oh my gosh, shocking, but really not shocking since we cover this so much. Going back to this situation, though. So Spencer's arrest, as you can imagine, it has caused a lot of outrage in the local community and online. So Heather set up a Give, Send, Go fundraising page, which has raised, our understanding, more than $100,000 to go toward Aaron Spencer's legal defense. I believe this was after an issue with GoFundMe because you're not allowed to raise money for a legal defense on that platform. So she's accepting donations through Venmo and Cash App. But a lot of people are outraged at what happened here. And a couple days after the shooting, the sheriff took to Facebook to kind of try to quell the growing unrest.
As your sheriff, it is our duty to conduct a thorough and factual investigation. Law enforcement does not file charges. We gather evidence.
So he's trying to take the heat off of him, folks. That's what he's doing. This sheriff went online because I bet you people were calling in and saying, why did you arrest this guy? Why are you making him spend all this money on legal fees? What is wrong with you? He was protecting his children and our children in the community from this monster. So this guy is just making excuses for himself and law enforcement, in my opinion. Just saying.
Prosecutor, who will then decide whether or not to file charges. Currently, official charges have not been filed. I have not, nor will I, advocate for any specific charge.
Now, as of Monday night, it doesn't appear that the district attorney's office has filed official charges. This was more a preliminary murder charge, so there's not an official charge.
Again, we went a little bit backwards. There's a lot of newer content, but I have to lay the foundation for y'all. And I don't know if you're here, Tiff. What's up? I saw you say you were coming in late. If you could drop a link, if you haven't, to the merch. Oh, there you go. Synth just dropped it to the merch. Thank you, Synth. We got some really cool stuff on guiltyofcrime.com, guys. We give away a lot of merchandise in hopes that you guys are able to buy some for yourselves. Not only does it help support the channel and the community, but it helps support Tiff to take the time to be making all these cool things for you guys. So please go check out guiltyofcrime.com. Go over to the merch store and get yourself something. All right, Krista, I'm glad you're here. Retha, good to see you again, my friend.
Yep. But we are learning more about Mr. Spencer and Mr. Fosler's backgrounds. So we started by looking up the suspected shooter, Aaron Spencer. And we actually looked him up on Truthfinder. It's really easy to do. You just put in the person's name, location, less than a minute. Our paid subscription gave us access to all of these court records. And all we were really able to find with respect to his criminal history was a speeding citation in 2010. By the way, Law and Crime, we partner with Truthfinder.
Of course you do. We all use Truthfinder. All right, let's take a look.
Confidential. So what about Michael Fosler? Well, according to a post from Heather on the fundraising page, her daughter's interactions with Fosler actually started earlier this year. She wrote, in spring-summer 2024, our then 13-year-old child was targeted, groomed, and ultimately raped by the boyfriend of a family friend. The family did not know this monster. He just appeared in a place where our child should have been safe and got access to her phone number. And that's all it took.
See, that's why this reminded me so much. Let me put this over that word. That's why this reminded me so much of the case with the sheriff and the judge, because initially I thought that was going to be the case. Oh man, this judge had the daughter's number on his phone. Man, I'd go after him too, right? Allie Ellison. I don't know. Are you Allie Ellison? Allie Kelly? Anyway, I'm doing fantastic, guys. Judge was dirty. Use it. Yeah, that I agree. We were just talking about that today, and one of the biggest family members that do that, the biggest title that a family member has that does that is an uncle. And I hate to say that. I don't want to be like stereotyping, but statistics show that you got to be careful of any uncles in your family, or maybe a sister that has a boyfriend that they call an uncle. Please watch out, because I was just watching the Naziah Harris court today, and that mother trucking pedo was in there with the face mask trying to hide. That was supposed to be her, uncle? And he was, it was awful, guys. It was graphic today. What they were talking about was horrible. So I didn't want to play that. You guys can go watch the new hearing for Naziah Harris and what's going to happen with that. I don't even think I can play it here, but it's disgusting, and it happens. All right, let's keep going. We let the justice system do its job. So that's the thing, guys. They did let the justice system do its job, and the monster was charged quickly, but released even faster on a $50,000 bond, and he came right back. He was awaiting court in December for several felonies in relation to what he did to their child. Right? Sounds like self-defense. Sounds like that to me, but doesn't sound like that to them. All right. Yes, Ellie Kelly. I don't have good memory when it comes to names. I'm visual. So if I see your little icon, I'll recognize you. All right, let's keep going. That guy should have been locked up forever.
Several felonies in relation to what he did to our child. Now, those charges appeared to include internet stalking of a child and sexual assault, but the exact details weren't available because the criminal complaint has been sealed for privacy. But Chris, that kind of gives us an idea of what we're dealing with here.
Well, yeah.
Now, let me just tell you guys a little bit of information, not only from personal experience, but just what's happening nowadays in this world. Listen, the laws have not, you heard me right, capital N, capital O, capital T, the laws have not caught up with the internet, guys. So in one instance, when you hear that he was charged with internet stalking, you go to another county or another state, or cyber crime harassment, and they'll tell you that in that particular state, guess what? There's no stalking laws. And because they're over there stalking you over here, there's nothing we can do about it. It's not stalking. So I'll tell you right now, the laws have not caught up with the internet yet. All right. Welcome. And it says her name, Deborah Stearns, 1677, with that lovely poodle. What's up, Deb? I hope you're doing good. I enjoy all the memes and the funny stuff you sent me, so keep sending me funny stuff. We all need it, right? I don't understand why pedos have the right but not victims. That I agree with too. And the reason is, my friends, is because the world's ran by pedos, in my opinion. All right. Yeah, you did have to renew your membership. That's all right. I forget that all the time. Don't worry. All right. You said my oldest sister's husband, 13 years old, tried messing with me when I was 12. I told my mom, sister stayed with him. He ended up MOLS the nephews, and I'm sorry about that. Under the Mystic Moon, same thing happened to my mom with her sister's husband. They sent her over there. They sent my mom to go help her sister in the summer with the kids. All the while, her husband, my mom's brother-in-law, did that to her for multiple summers. If I were older back then and knew what I knew and had met him, I'd have probably gone over there and done that too. All right. So let's keep going. Like I said, uncles, boyfriends of aunts, whatever. What's up, Carrie? How you doing, my friend? Oh, you got the Foxy bundle too? Awesome. I'll leave that up for a minute so people know what that is.
Obviously, this guy was caught. The damage was done to this child, the grooming and the exploitation. And he doesn't learn his lesson. Just like the guys I described in our most recent sting, this guy will not stop until he is put in prison.
Yep.
And so that's all going to come into play when the prosecutor considers the charges against the father of the victim here. And I can't imagine that he'll see a day in prison.
I hope.
The idea, though, that he goes after the person that he's accused of first targeting, not even going out and trying to attack somebody, but going after the initial person. That's the part, and that's why people are outraged that he was out on bail too.
He's a stone cold predator. I mean, what else can you say about a guy like this?
Nothing.
Somebody like that is incorrigible. Somebody like that doesn't learn a lesson. Somebody like that can't be deterred. If you get arrested,
he even has that pedo mustache going on there. He's a pure, unadulterated pedo. He's been for years. There's not many pictures of this old bald nutty guy. Rightfully so. This guy was lurking on the internet, and I bet you anything he was lurking on the internet posed as a teenage boy.
And you're out on bail pending criminal charges
against that person
of this type, and you go back. These people, in some cases, are like heroin addicts.
Yeah.
They need to fulfill this fantasy. The heroin addict knows there's a 20% chance there's fentanyl in the heroin. They do it anyway. The predator knows there's a 20% chance they're going to get caught.
Yep. They do it anyway.
By one of the law enforcement agencies around the country, but they do it anyway. They can't.
I'm
control
sorry.
it. And for that subset of people who commit this crime, there's no choice but to keep them locked up because they will offend again and again.
Now, to be clear, from a legal point of view, right, these are allegations that are being asserted. These are allegations being asserted by the Spencer family. But just to go back to this, according to Heather Spencer,
yes,
she and her husband, they wake up at around 1 a.m. on October 8th to the sound of their daughter's dog barking, which they say was unusual. And when
here it is, it's going to lead up again to this. And Indy, I'm sorry that happened. I'm glad it was only an attempt and that you kicked him and ran. Best thing to do, guys, tell your kids, fight back, kick, bite, scream, punch, yell, whatever they got to do. Most predators are just worthless pieces of garbage, and they can only hurt children because they're not man enough or woman enough to stand up to an adult. So tell your children, fight back at all costs. All right. Don't do that, because Indy, look at Indy and my mom. I wish my mom was taught to fight back. And now, I have to feel that pain from her whole life. She's already in her 70s, and it's like it was yesterday. She was only 11, 12, maybe, not even a teenager. And that happened. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Once an offender, always offender of that, in my opinion.
she wasn't in her bed, they started a frantic search. The two reportedly didn't know that Fosler had apparently been in contact with their teenage daughter. But Heather said that on social media, they believed Fosler had taken the girl to kill her. So when this car wreck happened, Spencer says he was able to grab his daughter from the car. Fosler attacked him, so he shot him. So kind of a self-defense argument. Now, the sheriff has said that they investigate every death involving a shooting like this as a homicide, and whether or not they believe that homicide was justifiable or not, that would have to be determined as the investigation progressed. But Chris, here's the thing. You put the legal aspects to the side. Whether this was self-defense or perhaps even downgraded to something like voluntary manslaughter. You're acting in the heat of the moment. You're acting under extreme emotional disturbance.
And I'm wondering why they didn't lower it to that, because it is extreme It isn't just extreme disturbance. He was in the car chasing him, and the guy kept going. The guy couldn't even pull over and give him his daughter. He freaking outran him. What do you expect? April, I'm sorry you didn't tell him once you were 41, and that's not your fault because people say to be quiet. They tell your attackers, the predators will say, "Don't say anything, or I'll do that to, I'll take the lives of your family." But nowadays, we need to make open dialogue about that, especially with the internet and social media, and we need to talk about it and let people know. What's up, Little Red? Good to see you, my friend. Just got home. Nice dinner with hubby. I really like Jesse Weber. He's so rational. Yeah, he does. And he's got experience at it. That's what I love. He's very good at what he does.
Guy sees his daughter allegedly being kidnapped, and he's coming to the rescue. You can understand that. You put aside the legal aspect. I don't understand from a point of view, from a public policy point of view, how they charge him. I get it.
Yeah,
you don't want everybody taking justice into their own hands.
Chris Hansen's like, wait a minute.
Especially given the fact that there is this belief that maybe he was going to kill the girl. And maybe in his twisted mind, without that witness, he doesn't face prison on the charges. We don't know. And we also don't know what was going through the father's head, but I can predict without fear of contradiction that the father was afraid. And if you're looking at your daughter in the hands of a predator, again, I don't see how this guy gets charged.
Let's say he does. Yeah. Let's say this is a murder charge.
Yep, it is. They dropped it the second degree.
Given the community outrage here.
I don't see a prosecutor in a smaller town like this who knows everybody, who knows, all the players in this.
But they're still doing it.
I can't imagine that this man will ultimately go to trial for any sort of.
Well, guess what, guys? Trial starts September 22nd to the 27th. Pre-trial hearing is Friday. So please watch out for that pre-trial on Friday. And let's see if that even happens. Let's see if they don't come to the pre-trial on Friday and offer some sort of stupid deal. And then maybe Aaron will say, I'm not taking this deal. I'm not living with the felony forever. I'm done with that. Let's go to trial. Let's let 12 jurors decide that I did the right thing.
Now, to be clear, look, I've covered cases before, different kinds of
it's possible, and we've all seen, exceptions to that common sense. Thinking.
Because murder's not the answer. I mean, look at Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Clear case, she was abused. Menendez brothers, you can make the argument that they were abused. They're going back and forth about whether it was a self-defense argument. But the point is we're not just saying murder is a justification. But here's what's interesting. The sheriff told USA Today last week, this guy that preyed upon their daughter was released on bond, and we had stopped him that night and got him with her. That bond would have been revoked. He would have never got out of jail. None of the bond companies would have let him out. We wouldn't let him out. A lot of things there. So he's seemingly acknowledging Fosler was a predator and a danger. Let's start there.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe what he's arguing is that the father should have called the sheriff's department, called 911, and let them handle it as opposed to take matters in.
Let them handle it. Tell me they would have handled nothing. That little girl would have been raped one more time, and maybe even her life was taken. I mean, this guy, Aaron Spencer, is saying that he thought he was going to take her life. Would you stand there and wait for 911 to show up however many hours later? No. Good answer.
Into his own hands. That's a good argument. And then he would have been arrested and never let out on bond again until and after he faced criminal charges in court. That's a reason why maybe you detain somebody and you investigate the case, and maybe there is some sort of charge filed, then it becomes a question of fact for a judge or jury. But in the heat of the moment, does any parent wait until the police get there? Do you call 911 and then give chase? Do you just do it because you act out of instinct? Those are hard questions to answer. And it's hard to really point a guilty finger at this dad for doing what he did.
12 jurors? I don't know about
and
that.
It's different than, and the allegations don't support, the facts don't support this. If he had went to the car, immediately opened fire, if there was a struggle and he was trying to get his daughter back.
It would be different if this was a case where we have seen in the past where the guy somehow sneaks a gun into the courtroom and sees him and says, you so-and-so, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Or if he gets him being walked into the courthouse, or he goes to his home and kicks the door in and.
And that's what I thought happened at first, guys, before everything came out. All right. Isabella, how you doing, my friend? You say Australia, they protect them too. You tell anyone, you get put in jail. Sometimes I've thought, I do a few weeks in a mental ward to get to my 10 minutes, my revenge. Glad I moved states. Welcome to the channel, and me too. I just don't understand how this could have happened, this current situation that happened, and them even think of charging him first degree or second. All right. Let's keep going. What makes them think that girls grow up, they won't retaliate? Because they groom them. A lot of times they don't do that, unfortunately, and they groom them so much and give them so much attention. They give them so many things. They give them, presents, money. Who knows? I wish they would, guys. What's up, Pam? Good to see you, my friend.
Takes vengeance that way. But this is a case where the man who was facing criminal prosecution for grooming and sexually exploiting his teenage daughter has custody of that child. I mean, I don't know. I might come unglued myself or something like that.
And just to add to this, so Heather on this post on the fundraising page wrote, "My husband is a combat veteran who has always protected his country and family. I have no doubt our child would have not come home if my husband hadn't found her." So it's a tragic case, but a complicated case and a really sad case. Again, I don't understand how you would be able to get a jury that would be fair and impartial that wouldn't look at this and say, I can't find this guy.
Yeah, which is exactly why you have to wonder if it's even going to get prosecuted.
Yeah.
I mean, and you also have to ask the question, what are the additional charges that this guy is going to face, the predator? I mean, this obviously adds on to his he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah,
so, but so it doesn't matter now. But I mean, clearly, had he not been killed, he would have been facing a lot more time in prison.
They said they wouldn't have let him out. So look, it's a really tragic circumstance. I will say this, I can understand if they decide to charge him with either manslaughter or murder. I mean, the life was taken. I get it.
What, second degree?
Same time, trying to secure a conviction there, I think is going to be really, really tough.
It's funny because I popped over to the lawyer, and he did a live just recently, and he used this same law and crime episode, and then he asked the question, is Aaron Spencer the prototype for jury nullification, or was it self-defense? Now that's going to depend on Arkansas self-defense and what that falls under. So I wonder what is going to happen, and do we think it's going to be a self-defense thing? Do you think it's going to get dropped? Do you think that 12 people can really convict this guy? Indy says no way. Yeah, this dad was protecting his own. Free him. I agree. I think a lot of people are on the same side as we are, except probably the pedos.
I don't think it happens. Yeah.
Chris, so good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Jesse,
let everybody know where they can watch you, see you, catch predators like we talk about.
We have our own streaming crime network, True Blue, TRUBLU. Watch trueblue.com for details. Takedown with Chris Hansen. We have 100 new episodes and many more on the way. Several documentaries in the works, crime-related podcast.
Awesome. All right, good. You guys go follow him. You guys know a lot about him. I really want people to be able to take a look at this. I think not guilty would be the right thing to do, but I don't even think they should make it that far, guys. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop here an hour and 12 minutes so that we can try to get this out there so people can see it and it's not such a long thing. Lady for Justice, go ahead and send me an email. This is the first phase of Vigilante Dad shoot stalker after finding his missing teen daughter. The missing teen daughter is good, guys. All right. It's good. She's fine. I'm sure they're getting her therapy and all of that. I hope. But let's see what happens on Friday if they decide not to waste taxpayers' money and to give him some kind of deal that doesn't give him some charge of felony where he can no longer serve the country or no longer carry firearms. So that's the thing, guys. If this guy gets convicted of what they're asking, he'll never be able to have a weapon around like that. What's up, Coco? How you doing, my friend? You're a little late, but go ahead and go back and watch it. Thank you so much for this. I'm shocked at the whole thing. I'm surprised you guys hadn't already seen this, or maybe you saw this case and you let it pass by. Anyhow, thank you all for coming here. Sin, thank you for being active in chat. Synth is a little crazy, guys. So if anybody does reach out to Synth, I love you, Synth. She's funny and a little bit crazy. So make sure you have a good, strong sense of humor. Because I'll tell you, that's my mod, and you gotta love her. But sometimes I'm like, things that make you go, All right. Synth says I'll be doing super special synth snail mails the month of August for my Leos and Virgos because my birthday, Annie of 23 years, Saturday 23rd. Okay. Yeah. Email synth.cerber@gmail.com if you want some snail mail to get to you. Something cool. Teenage years are so hard and confusing. Thank you, Jay. He's out. Anybody in chat for North Carolina? Wait. Now he's out. Anybody in chat for North Carolina? Wait, I'm not sure what you guys are talking about right now. Is that another case? All right, I'm going to end it before everyone starts talking about something else. Happy birthday month to you. Love you guys. And good night. I'll be back here tomorrow with another episode. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Love you guys and see you soon. Thank you. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Love your approach, reporting the case. Whether or not people agree, you remain steadfast and honest. Integrity is so missing on YouTube crime channels. Thank you for saying that, Deb. I'll have to agree on that. That's why I hop on and I hop off. I log into YouTube and I log the F out because when anybody sees me on the YouTube streets, people automatically think because I'm on a certain channel that I'm like gung-ho for that channel. No, I'm just a person, guys. I'm just a regular person that used to love YouTube before I streamed. So I watch the channels. It doesn't mean that because I'm watching a channel or I'm on a channel that I agree with them. It just means I'm watching all sides and seeing what happens. So keep that in mind when you guys see me out on the YouTube streets. Just because I'm on a channel, it doesn't mean that I'm backing what they say. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means I'm a person that likes to watch YouTube and see all sides. Because trust me, lately I've been on the YouTube streets because I have to see what's going on, guys. I gotta see what cases are happening. I have to watch it. And sometimes I get stuck on some things and people in chat are like, oh, so you're now siding with that. No, I'm not siding with anybody but myself. All right. That's it. All right. Point of view, just Josie. Yeah, we're only humans on the YouTube streets and we're just learning information. I'm not on anybody's side but my own and my family. And guilty of crime family, of course. But it doesn't mean we have to always agree. You guys go over and sign that petition, all right? And if you didn't watch this, then go ahead and go back and be part of the rewatch crew. Thank you. Love you guys. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?